Welcome back to me, welcome back to Thailand. Hope you're doing well. Just about to sneeze. Oh, no. Sorry, Cap. How are you doing? It's one Parahasable D. Right. It's Thursday. The actual days of the week in Thailand, etc. is very simple. You know, it's either 1 Jan, 1 Angkar, 1 Put, you know, whatever. It's like one word afterwards. On Thursday, it's called Parahasable D. Now, why the hell? Why do they call it one para or whatever? Something like that. I don't know. It's probably been shortened by the Thais anyway, but it's just weird. Anyway, so it's the 17th today. 17th. I think I actually said the 17th yesterday, so do apologise if I said the 17th. But, you know, again, days get mushed over. Anyway, guys, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to Blue Thai. I hope you're doing, it's let's start again. I'm like a computer going on the same thing. Let's go back and reverse. Let's edit a little bit. Okay, so it's another day, Man City, and not as hectic as it was yesterday. I listened to the what's happened overnight as well. For instance, listen to to looking at the podcast and what people have been saying. So it's got a bit quiet. Typical City Johnny was chatting about. He was chatting about who's going to win the title, and because a lot of City fans are now going, oh my God, Liverpool are doing so much, and United and not United, Arsenal, etc. So, for instance, but I was actually listening to the transfer show today. Sky, unbelievable. All right, mate, how are you doing? You know, oh seriously, what's happened? And it was listening to it, I listened to the good half an hour, 45 minutes, etc. And he realised, etc., that Djokovic is still not signed for Arsenal. And, for instance, I'm thinking, well, they got this guy, but they still haven't signed him. And it's just going to be it's crossing the I's, dotting the T's. But when's it going to happen? We're talking the 15th of July, 17th of July. And so I know we've got a bit of way to go to the transfer window, and I'm sure they'll get him through, but they haven't. And they're after another guy. And they keep saying, they're going to get this guy through, we're going to get this guy through, we're going to get this guy through, then they're going to be this amazing. And regardless, they were looking at, Liverpool's done well, and they're going after Isak as well. But Arsenal turn around and say, screw you, like Man City have said in Nico O'Reilly, and but they'll go after this other guy from Frankfurt, etc. But again, there's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of talk about these things, but deals are not getting done. In the way, United are just a joke. They can't get two. Man City got 4 players in 10 days. United are struggling to get this. Flat refused and pay a little bit extra money, which is weird for them because to Brentford, but it's weird. It's all right showing financial restraint, etc. But there's time and a place when you do it. And at United, etc., you need to get it done. They're going on a pre-season to America, and they've still only got 1 player in. And the Furious 5 or the Failure 5, etc., are still there. So offenses, and nobody really wants them. So it's funny. So we can worry about Manchester City and what the business we've done, etc. But I still think, etc., we've done very good business. And now it's the time where, for instance, it's how the trimming of the squad is going to take, or how is it going to go. Let's just pop on to the Euros before I go into Man City, man. The Euros, the ladies, I just wanted to give a shout out, to Caroline, who scored a hat-trick yesterday. Brazil won 6-0, was it Bolivia yesterday, and she scored a hat-trick, so well done, Caroline. The Euros started yesterday. For instance, Norway lost to Italy. Italy won 2-1. The quarterfinals not started. The quarterfinals. England play tonight against Sweden. So hard. That's going to be a tough game. We'd like to see that, but it's a 2 a.m. in the morning game. And I got things to do, and I don't want to walk around looking as ugly, more ugly than what I do. So I'll have to watch that in the morning. It's a. So I was normally I do talk about England, talk about what the manager Severa Beatman says and blah blah blah. But I'm not actually an England fan, should say. I'm a Man City fan. And so, for instance, and I care about Man City players, and I'm talking about England because it's got involving Man City players, just like Deutschland and Germany, and for instance, and Sweden and Switzerland, etc. For instance, who are playing. So, but my clear interest is Manchester City players. So I wish good luck to Alex, to Lauren, to Kara, and to Jess. For instance, tonight. For England against Wales, and I hope you do well and score goals and have a good games and help your country through. So, but I'm not taking any flying the flag, as it were, and so been down there, done that, bought the T-shirt, Man City fan all the way, whatever. So anyway, so but good luck to that. So right, transfers. Because there was a lot of yapping about transfers. Nico Gonzalez, and again, for instance, Nico Gonzalez, Nico O'Reilly. Was a lot of talk yesterday, for instance, how the fact that clubs are interested in Nico O'Reilly, for instance, and I'm happy that the club came out, because I was a bit miffed with LB Lewis yesterday, because he was talking about how the fact, well, if I was him, I'd go. And I thought, no, we want to keep him. For instance, I want to tie him down to a new contract, etc. And what's it called? And strap him down, get some tax on him, and he's good for Man City. He's good for his development, and he will get games. So screw it. I don't want to see him go. Anything on loan, but again, we need strength in depth, and I don't care. I'm sick. It drives me mad about people when they talk about Man City, the squad. Well, they're not going to get in the starting lineup. Well, you've got the starting lineup, and then you've got your reserves. Okay, and you need to look at your bench and go, who can I bring off if things go tits up? And so, for instance, just because it's Nico O'Reilly's not going to get in the starting lineup, and his game time will be limited, as it put, we're playing a lot of bloody games, so he'll get games. For instance, last season he got more games than I expected. McAtee got a lot more games, and for instance, I know they want to start all time, but God doesn't want it everybody. You can't have your cake and eat it. For instance, and I'm sorry. You've got, again, for instance, development. Would he start in Manchester City straight away? No, he wouldn't. So I'm sorry. He's not, because he's not developed enough. He may be good enough. He's a good quality player. Blah 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 blah. But. For instance, so for instance, his development and his place is at Manchester City, and I'm so happy that Man City came out and said he's going nowhere. We have no intention to sell him. Good. So, for instance, and then we need to do that, and so yeah, absolutely, he's a Man City player, homegrown, and we need him. So screw every person who wants to sell him. Well, if his own development, LB, for instance, he needs to go. No, he doesn't. Stay. Right? Shut your mouth. And for instance, so let's move on from that. Edison, Eddy, he was linked with Galatasaray, so we'll all talk about Galatasaray, and then suddenly it came out yesterday that, for instance, he was going to. They were talking about going to Napoli. Oh, Napoli! Oh, watching Kevin De Bruyne yesterday, for instance, in a Napoli t-shirt. It's nice, it's all in blue and white, Kevin. What's it called? But it looks good because he still suits blue and white. But But knowing that Edison was linked with Napoli, for instance, that was a bit of a shocker. But it appears that they couldn't agree with personal on the value on money. I'm not quite sure exactly, but a lot of things weren't. But the mere fact that Man City and now are talking or having chats with Napoli, and so and again, you've got to bump up the percentage of him going now. So for instance, I get the impression he's not going to be the Man City start new goalkeeper in the beginning of the season. So we'll be looking at Gonzalez or Trafford now, or Ter Stegen, which is the new name at the moment, which has been batted around. That he's been disrespected. He got a bad injury at Barcelona, for instance, and come back, and it appears that he's been replaced. So but he's an old goalkeeper, an oldish goalkeeper, but for instance, but he's still got it. So whether he would come join Man City, and where would he be number one and number two, and that all depends on Ortega and his nose being put out of place. Because if Edison goes, Ortega will think, oh well, I'm going to be the number one. So if Trafford or Ter Stegen or Diego Costa, for instance, comes along and he's number one, where is Ortega's feelings? You know, because I know he's not signing a new contract, but for instance, so we might have. I think we've got a big issue here at the moment. Which is growing by the day. So the right back thing can just go to the left a little bit. The Dumfries thing, etc., has really gone quiet now. It's past the 25 million get out clause. I think it was the 15th of July. That's gone now. Barcelona fancy him, so I believe he's more like that. So I don't think that's going to happen now with him. I still find what Talking City Jolly said about Jed Spence, etc., was a shout, as it were, to quote the kids, a shout. But for instance, we'll see what's happened there with him. Yeah, so what do you think? You know, it looks like Eddy's through the door now. For instance, I'm definitely putting up at 70% now to go with Eddy. It's a shame, it really is. It's heartbreaking. You know, but I can understand it, especially when he gets slagged off by some City fans. Those City fans who went on his Instagram post after the Club World Cup. You know, get yourself a new place. You know, go be another City fan for another damn. You know, honestly, I just can't stand people like that who do that. Yeah, so there's Caroline getting the report. It scored a hat-trick against registered Bolivia 6-0. So there's one of her goals. Bang, get in there. So very happy for her. So let's have it. Anything else happen, Josh, today? Oh, there's an open day at Manchester City on the 5th of August. For instance, and it's like a men's and ladies open day, which is interesting. The black kit, the second kit, what's it called? Which is, I'm happy it's going to be a second kit. That is a banging. Oh gosh, I'm talking like the kids. Banging. I don't talk like that. That is a very beautiful kit. Absolutely fantastic kit. Oh my god, unbelievable. Banging. Oh god. I'm laying on, you know, some of these things to listen to. Yeah. Oh, Kevin. Oh, it's so nasty. Nice Italian flag though. Man City have no plans to sign. Edison last week where trials are taking place, but the move is now off, and the deal was not feasible. Notts Forest looks like I believe the City representative on McAtee are now back. For instance, after his little trip to Deutschland, and it appears that, for instance, he's regardless of the give wipe situation, Forest are definitely interested in Jason. I think he'll. I would like to see him go to Deutschland rather than actually stay in the UK. The Smiths. So, but it's up to him. But we can get a good valuation for him to see him go. But it was good that Ilkay Gundogan. It appears that, for instance, there was a lot of these agents come out and said, "What's all this thing about Ilkay going? He's not going anywhere." To which it upset some City fans. It really did. Why do you mean he's not going anywhere? Get him out. Everybody's thinking that he's going to Ilkay, and said, "No, he's just concentrating on the new season." I don't know where you get all this speculation that he's going somewhere. And so some City fans were pretty upset by the sounds of that. Get rid of these hunks. Keeping the, because they don't want. I can understand what they're feeling, and you see Kovacic back in training now on the Stairmaster. So he looks trying to get back, etc. So, but I can understand what they're thinking. Again, the transition was a massive issue for us last season. So, but yeah, it's a contentious one. It really is. We need the you know. To me, friends, I'd keep one, not keep them both. I want Nico O'Reilly. I want to what's the name? Nico Gonzalez to stay, and So for instance, and we need to keep these guys. But we'll see. I got another 20 plus days, 28 days before our first pre-season game against in Sicily, but I believe definitely believe we'll get another pre-season game somewhere beforehand. But apart from that, as I said, like for instance, it all went quiet. For instance, it just breaks, and we got so much news to talk about, and then suddenly very little. No, overall, I'm still happy with what's going on, the preparations for the season. I think there's going to be a lot of scaremongering, for instance, about City players. They're good players, which a lot of players want them, and who we're going to keep. I know we're talking about trimming the squad, but it's all right trimming the squad, but who you're going to bring in and who you're letting go in. And again, for instance, I want a bigger squad. I want a large squad. I know there's always this speculation. I'm not going to go through this nonsense yesterday. I talked about yesterday about big squads, small squads, and for instance, and listen to the crappy media. Oh, that was interesting yesterday, because I knew there was something. You know, you can tell. You know, I'm thinking while I'm talking to you, but. The 115 thing, what was it called? Daps, I was listening to Daps here on this half stand, and he got like this text, and he said, yes, which you should. But again, it gives me confidence. We got £1 billion largest kit deal in history, Premier League history. Still haven't heard all the crap from that yet, coming from rival fans. But it appears that, for instance, he was saying the fact that there was a 115. I'm not so sure about it, because I think, for instance, it's not up to Man City and the Premier League to release it. I think it'll just get released when it gets done. I think it's up to the courts to release. I don't think. We're saying, but again, I'm not 100% certain. But they're saying Man City are cleared of all charges apart from what's it called? Non-compliance. Which is they want a 3-point deduction and a heavy fine for Man City, and Man City turn around and say, forget it, we're not having that rubbish. I think the Premier League, I agree. I think the Man City have won the case, and I think the Premier League are trying to do whatever they can do to save their skin. And old Dickie Masters, Master Dick and his mates are basically trying to save their job, really, and knowing that they've screwed up. And I do believe, for instance, Man City, because I've always believed Man City are innocent. I think they're ridiculous charges. I think it was trumped up charges, 100%. That's not because I'm a blue. It's just because I just find I listen to the charges, and I think the whole thing's crap. And I think, for instance, unfortunately, Man City, because we got a gag over, and we can't talk about it, and they've allowed the media to come and speculate, and everybody to believe it. And because the media have not explained the charges well enough to the public, and they've just come out with their own speculation. Oh well, if Everton have got this and Forest have got that, Man City must get all the trophies must be taken off them. Oh, he wants to get thrown to the wall. And whatever. And people have just kind of jumped on the bandwagon, and rival fans. Oh, Man City are cooked. Fans, whatever. But and they just had a field day for years, and we just had to sit there and take it and listen to the word cheat every 2 seconds. And for instance, I believe, for instance, they were talking about this guy, Wolves fan, Wolfie, and it appears that, for instance, every time he says Man City, he says 115. You know, and again, it's just the whole thing is just bad. That is just pathetic in my mind. I think it's low class. But for instance, for me, for instance, we've been accused of doing something, but not found guilty. But in the eyes of the media and the haters, we've been found guilty, drawn and quartered, and they're on the way to the plank. As far as I could, so without any kind of, with nothing. Where Liverpool was found guilty of hacking Man City's database and had to pay United found guilty of breaking PSR, even though they got only a small fine. But it's only a small fine, which was got washed over by Sky Sports. But they also got money from the COVID, which were 40 million, where Man City and the rest of the teams didn't get nada, or very small money from COVID, which they would have been worse for APT. I think there was APT rules. They got found guilty and fined. So, for instance, the Everton and Spurs and Forest was a breach, and they got fined in a breach, and they pleaded guilty, even though they tried to cover it up. Everton, shocking how they did it. Chelsea's been very creative in their accounting, flower accounting, etc., to avoid it. And but Man City are the cheats. Even though we've not been found guilty, whatever, anything. What's it called? We've been charged, but not found guilty. It's like if a copper comes up to you, I'm going to charge you what's it called? Saying hello, Israel, the greatest country. I'll charge you. But it doesn't mean that you're doing something, etc. And you're not being found guilty. according to the media now, Man City 100 own goals were done by this. It's asterisks against the trophies. Boom, give it back to Liverpool. All this kind of crap, etc. And we've had to listen to it for years now. For instance, and it's years. And I believe Man City now, according to the reports, I want to sue these teams, these people, for instance, who called us out, and I also want a letter. And an acknowledgement from all the Premier League sides saying the Man City are innocent and no more bloody 115 crap, no nothing. And if that is great, honestly, I would literally fly back to England and then kiss the boots of, shake man to and Cardona about it if they did that, because I want to hit back against these blasted piece of shit who think they can just talk about my club. I am sick and tired of listening to, spending 5 minutes. 10-15 minutes of my Alexa on top of my refrigerator, for instance. All I want to do is make some dinner, listen to a bit of sport, and talk sports on Jim White and Simon Jordan. Blah, Man City guilty, Man City 115. He tried to cook us last week with that guy from, for instance, who's the what's it called, from the former Palace owner or whatever. This Palace, the guy who's screwed Palace. And what's it called? He said, "Well, what do you think of Manchester City's 115?" And he said, "Well," and of course, then the guy turned around and said, "Well, I like Man City," and you can see his disappointment. Every guest comes on, "What about Man City's 115?" It's terrible, and all they want to do is cook Manchester City, and I just want to see him and White and Jordan and son of a bitch, that Forest fan, and a lot of others getting dragged into court and going boom. I want revenge, just like I want revenge for the season. I want revenge on this lot as well. So yeah, absolutely 100%. Subscribe. Tell me what you're thinking. Are we saying goodbye to Eddy? Shame. Who do you want in as a goalkeeper? To me, for instance, Stegen looks like a decent goalkeeper, but we need somebody. I was saying, but can he play the City way? Can he play out the gap? Who knows? But it's going to be it's a shame. It's a shame that this happened. But good luck to England ladies, Man City ladies tonight against Sverige. 2:00 in the morning for me. I ain't getting it. Get it 2:00 in the morning. I leave my beauty sleep, and you look at my eyes. You definitely know I need my beauty sleep, guys. Love you, true blue tie from Tower. Talk to you tomorrow.